Hi, welcome to another NSP service fulfillment demonstration. We're going to look at a new feature called linked services. This feature was introduced in NSP 26.4 and allows the linking of services that they rely on. The case could be that you have an access layer 2 service that relies on a core or backhaul service or a transport service, or could be that a service relies on a composite service. And so visibility of the operational state of those services will be critical when investigating service outages. This supports services in any lifecycle states and any, so it could be fully lifecycle managed by IBSF, or it could be in an unknown state. So it supports brownfield services as well. The demonstration will take the user through the key parts of using the API to link or unlink services and how the UI user gains visibility to this information. And then finally, we'll look at how the operational state of the linked service is propagated to the other services, both through the UI and also the API. Anyway, hopefully you enjoy. Thanks for watching. All the best. Bye for now. Hi, welcome to another NSP service fulfillment demonstration here. As per the introduction, this is a new feature that was introduced in NSP 26.4 that allows you to link services to other services for operational requirements. So it could be the scenario that you have a service that relies on another service and you want to keep an eye on the operational state of that other service. Because normally if you're looking at, say for example I have these e-pipes here, they're actually relying on another backhaul service or a core service or a transport service, which is completely separate. How do you know the end-to-end operational state of that? So it's quite handy to know that, yes, you've got your individual operational state of that individual e-pipe, but in the case that it's relying on another service for, as I said, transport, and that's down, that is impacting this individual service. This is quite a unique case here, but I just thought I'd show this off and record and show you how this is done in this respect. And hopefully it might become applicable to your particular scenario in your network. So as you will see with IBSF now in the user interface now, we've added two new columns called link service. So that will tell you which service it is a link to. So is there, and we'll see this later on, and the actual operational state of that link service. The actual linking of the service can be to anything. So you can actually link a service that is using a site-based, unified, in an unknown state. It doesn't have to be fully lifecycle managed here. You can link it to other e-pipe to an e-pipe if you want to, e-pipe to a VPRN or VPRN, whichever combination, and even to the point you can actually link it to a composite service, which probably has the more use cases here where you have a very comprehensive composite service and multiple services are relying on those. So as you see here, I've got loads of e-pipes. Okay, some are actually lifecycle management, some are not. I've got some VPRNs, etc. in the network. I've even got a lovely little composite service here, composite one, and you can see that it's partially, if I look in there, you can see that it's partially down because one of its e-pipes inside it, okay, is actually down at this point in time. But just to give you some understanding of that. So we go back here, let's just go back. So to configure link services, okay, you need to use the API. So we're actually going to use Postman here. So I thought I authenticated myself, okay, standard stuff. And we've got a new URL here for the post. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, this is my target linked service. So you've got the target identifier here, or the link service identifier. I've got that from the operational model. I just did a quick find on the op model and it provided me that actual information I needed there to actually say there's my composite service number one. Okay, and these are then the services I want to be linked to that composite. So you see here I've picked on the service IDs ePipe 110 and ePipe 121. Okay, you will see that it's actually using :11, :SAM, for example. That's because they're brownfield services from my classic network, and I haven't bothered to do any greenfield. But it fully supports greenfield service. There's no real restrictions in this particular aspect. So what I'm going to do is just file that in. Just a simple 200 response back. Thank you very much. Okay, and if we go back to our UI now, we will see that ePipe 110, which is lifecycle management, is now linked to that composite 1, and you can see that the operational state of composite 1 is actually partial at this point in time. So that's really handy. So if I've got an end customer that's complaining about ePipe 110, you can actually say, yeah, ePipe 110 is fine. However, the service that it relies on for transport reasons, backhaul, blah, 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 you can see it's partially down. So I need to go in, instead of me wasting time investigating that ePipe, because everything's good, okay, I can actually spend time investigating what's wrong with that composite. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see the ePipe 121, which is totally not even lifecycle managed. We can actually have that linked service as well. Okay, pretty cool, I think. Allows you that quick visibility. So if I go on to another little URL here, I'm going to actually put a few more services. You can do tens in here. There's lots you can add at the same time, etc. Okay, I won't go through limits here on this call, on this demo, but if you need more information, then get in contact. So in this particular case, I've got a VPRN that I want these services linked to. Okay, so I'm just going to file that in. Okay, we got them all going in. Okay, so 111 all the way to 120. So if I just scroll in here, do a refresh there. Okay, you'll see they're all, bang, we got them all there. So we're all relying on a lovely little service, VPRN 500, all the way down here. So let's have a go down here. Let's go to VPRN 500. You can see it's all happy. What happens if something goes wrong with that? And I'm not going to simulate a fault in the network. I'm just going to shut it down. It's much easier to do that. Just click, click. It's going to take that service down. Click, click. And in real time, that'll be propagated. So if I just click on refresh, you'll see propagated straight away. Because that service is 500 has gone down here, we can see, and you can hear my audible warning in the background because I haven't switched that off on my NFMP. You can see straight away, oh my goodness, those ePipes there, ePipe 111 to 120, they're all good, but they were relying on our VPRN, so I'm going to get some customers phoning me up now saying there's probably a problem. So I now, instead of me wait again, as I mentioned, no need to waste time investigating the individual ePipes. I need to investigate that VPRN and fix that problem. And then if I just go back down to here, just do a quick edit on that. Okay, just bring that back up. Unlock that. Click, click. Again, this is a simulated, lab network, so it's not, the most optimal, but bang, straight away, you can see they're all back enabled. So that's pretty handy. So you know straight away if my end-to-end service is working or not, if you're relying on other services. I thought that's pretty cool to record there. Can you actually get this information through the API? Yes, I'm going to make a simple get here on that particular E line here, this ePipe 111, looking for linked services. Okay, you can see here, you get a nice little response. So your OSS that wants to know this, okay, you can actually query and get that information. All this is coming from the operational model. Okay, please remember that. So if I do get service on the op model, for example, on a particular service, I didn't have a service in there. Let me just get a service. Let me just pick on one. Let's pick on that one. That might be easier just to show that one so you see a different result. Let me just grab that a second because it saves me time. Okay, put that into there. Okay, just do a quick query. Again, this is going into the op model. Okay, and if I look for linked in there, you'll see there's your linked service. Okay, so again, all your stuff in the op model's there, but we've got a little extension here for the linked services. You can see that it's linked to comp1. Pretty straightforward stuff. If I want to remove them, you can do that. So quick, okay, so I want to just remove the services that are linked to that. You can just click on that straight away. They're gone. Okay, so if I do that, and just do a refresh on that, okay, you see the comp one's gone. Okay, which is quite good. One thing you don't have to do, you don't have to remove to do a link. You can actually overwrite it completely. Okay, so if I wanted to do, for example, let's pick on this service. Okay, so we're going to pick on this one. Okay, I'm just going to pick on that one, which is currently linked to that VPRN, but I'm going to change that. Okay, let's put that into there instead. Okay, so I'm actually going to say, actually, instead of you being linked to that VPRN, you're now linked to that composite. I didn't have to remove it and then add it. I just overwrite it. Click on that. If I refresh that now, you'll see it's now part of composite, and the one below as well as in the payload. So you can see that that's very good. So if a service has a change in which service it relies on, you just push it straight down, and that's pretty cool in that respect. Anyway, I'll keep it there. Hopefully that's given you some ideas of how you could use this feature. But anyway, thank you for watching. All the best. Bye.